Hello guys, and welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be making my predictions for game week 40 of the 25-26 EFL Championship season. But before we begin, I just want to thank everybody for 100 subscribers. I really appreciate it. And yeah, let's keep pushing on the channel and let's keep growing it. And let's see how I did last week before the international break. I got two scorelines bang on. I got Ipswich and Millwall drawing 1-0 correct, and Southampton beating Oxford 2-0 correct, plus 4 more outcomes correct, so that's 10 points, taking my season total up to 285. And this is how the championship table looks after 39 game weeks. And without further ado, let's predict today's matches for Good Friday. And we start with a big match. It is Middlesbrough against Millwall. It's a 12:30 kickoff this afternoon. And wow, this is a huge battle for the other automatic promotion place, along with Coventry, in my opinion now. In most people's opinions, I'm sure. Millwall have been on pretty solid form. They've got a few draws here and there, but they're in pretty good form. Borough have also drawn quite a few matches recently. I just feel like the international break might have come at the right time for Borough here. This could be a draw, could be cagey. And if Millwall win, then they'll leapfrog Borough into second in the table, with Ipswich not playing this weekend or today. However, I think Borough just have the home advantage as well. I'll back Borough to edge it 2-1. I think it's going to be close, but I think Borough might just get the 3 points they need to stay second in the table. 2-1 to Borough. And next up, we've got Leicester City against Preston North End. And this is a big it's a big match for Leicester. And I think a bit like Borough, I think the break might have come at the right time for Leicester as well. They were in pretty bad form before the international break, still 22nd in the league table. Preston themselves are in bad form as well. Picked up a couple draws here and there, but otherwise I think it's all been losses really. The Foxes could get the 3 points here though. It is at the King Power, and I think Gary Rowett is a good manager. He knows how to get teams to survive at this level. I think Leicester's quality will show here, I think they will be alright at the season end, but I'm going Leicester to win 2-1. I think Preston might find a goal from somewhere, but I just think Leicester need the 3 points desperately here. 2-1 to the Foxes. Next up, we've got Norwich City against Portsmouth. And a few months ago, you'd have looked at this game and thought it was a huge relegation 6-pointer, but Norwich have been on red-hot form in 2026, really. Portsmouth's another side I've been a little bit worried for in terms of their relegation scrap. They're 21st, they're currently just outside the bottom three, but they are struggling. They are one of the worst form sides down there. The Canaries are in good form. It's at Carrow Road as well. I've just got to go for Norwich here. I'll go Norwich to win 2-0. I've been worried for Portsmouth, and just before the international break they did lose 6-1 to QPR, which was a bit of a disgrace. So yeah, I'm going 2-0 to Norwich here, and yeah, I'm worried for Portsmouth now. I think they'll get a few more points, maybe a couple more wins at Fratton Park. Whether it's enough to stay up, I don't know. But I'm going to back the Canaries, 2-0. Next up, we've got a big match at both ends of the table. It's Oxford United against Hull City. Oxford are 23rd. They're currently fighting for survival, and they're in good form under Matt Bloomfield here. Hull are currently in 5th in the table, and I think they're losing ground on the top 2 race, and they're another side that hasn't been on the best of form recently up there. They are still, on their day, they are still very capable of getting 3 points over the line. But Oxford have been, very solid down there. They're the form side of the whole bottom 6 or 7 in the Championship. However, I do think that... Thing is, Hull, I think, will get something here. But Oxford are the home side. I think with home advantage, Oxford might actually get something here. I'm not going all in. I'll go for a 1-1 draw on this one. I could see both sides thinking of points a decent result-ish. I think it's going to end in a draw, 1-1. Next up, we've got Charlton Athletic against Bristol City. And what a interesting game this is. Of course, the big news over the international break is Bristol City parting ways with Gerhard Struber, and they have brought in Roy Hodgson as their manager. At, 78 years old or something? He's gone back to the club that he left 40 years ago in Bristol City. Whether he's the right appointment, I don't know, but I do think that just Nathan Jones, he's capable of grinding out wins, and I've said it before a few times, I'll say it once more here. I think Charlton need a couple more wins to be officially safe from the drop. I think they will be safe. And Bristol City aren't in great form recently. Of course, I haven't seen them play under Hodgson, but I think Nathan Jones will get out the trusty Charlton victory. I think Charlton will edge it 1-0, like they usually do. I think Charlton will be alright this season, and I'm going for a Nathan Jones special, 1-0. Next up, we've got Stoke City against Sheffield Wednesday, and I don't think there's really much to say on this match. Sheffield Wednesday already relegated rock bottom of the league. Stoke are currently, I believe, 16th. They are in mid-table. They're in the spiritual home of 16th. But it is at the Bet365 Stadium. I think, it's like I said, I think Sheffield Wednesday, now they're down, they can start to grind out results more frequently. And I do think when they play sides like Stoke, who are kind of on the beach at this stage of the season, not much to play for, I think they might get results, and they could get one here. Could be a draw, but I think Stoke will just have the home advantage. I think Stoke will edge it 1-0. I think it's going to be close, but I think Stoke will ultimately get the 3 points over the line. 1-0 to the Potters. Next up, we've got Sheffield United against Swansea City, and this is another interesting one. Swansea are in pretty good form at the minute, but I do prefer them at home. And having said that, they did lose before the international break 3-0 to top of the table Coventry. But, that's Coventry. I don't expect many teams to beat them. And Sheffield United, they're at home, and I do like them more at home. And I think if Chris Wilder can round up the boys for next season, I think they could go on a top 2 hunt next season. I think they could be on some good form, but they're currently 17th. Both these sides are 17th and 14th respectively. They're both mid-table, and I think it's just a mid-table matchup. But I do think the Blades might actually get the 3 points here. I'll go Sheffield United to win 2-1. I think Swansea might get a goal from somewhere, but ultimately, I think the Blades will get the 3 points. 2-1, Sheffield United. Next up, we've got QPR against Watford in another huge kind of mid-table clash. QPR are like 13th. Watford, I believe, are like 9th. This is tricky. QPR are a very tricky side to read this season. They're very streaky. They go on win streaks and lose streaks. They did just batter Portsmouth 6-1 before the international break, but it'd be very QPR-like to go and lose this game. And Watford are, I mean, they're, like 8 points out the playoffs or something, very similar to that. I think they're maybe the last team I have in a mathematical chance of making it. But I don't think it's very realistic, but I just think that Watford might actually get the quality here. I know Loser is banging in quite a few for them. I think Watford might just get the points, I'll go Watford to edge it 2-1. I think it could be close. It could be a 2-2 draw, but I'm going to go for the Hornets. 2-1 to Watford. Huge 3 points. Next up, we've got Birmingham City against Blackburn Rovers. And this is a interesting one. Birmingham are currently 11th in the table there. They don't have much to play for, this season. And Blackburn actually do. They're currently 19th. They're still very much in this relegation discussion. It's tricky because I think Blackburn need the points more, obviously, for survival. But it is at St Andrews, and I do like Birmingham at home to get something. I'm going to go down the middle again. I'll go down the middle with a 1-1 draw on this one. I just think Birmingham's home advantage. Maybe Blackburn go 1-0 up quite early on, and then Birmingham find an equaliser sort of late into the match. 1-1 draw on this one. Next up, we've got West Brom against Wrexham, and this is another very interesting match, actually. West Brom, obviously the 20th in the league. They're on good form, actually, recently. I think they're unbeaten at least 3 matches. Wrexham, it is at the Hawthorns. This is tricky because if this was at the racecourse, I would be fancying Wrexham slightly more for the win. But Wrexham, they're just outside the playoffs looking in 7th place. I just think West Brom will have the quality to get something here. I think at the Hawthorns they can get results over the line. No, it's boring. I'm going to go for another 1-1 draw on this one. I think a point wouldn't really hamper either in their aspirations for playoffs and, survival. And I think with Southampton not playing, we're in the FA Cup this weekend, which, by the way, I will make my FA Cup quarter-final predictions coming soon. But I just think, if with us not playing, I think Wrexham will go with this result back into the playoffs by a point. So I'm going for a 1-1 draw on this one. And then finally, we've got Coventry City against Derby County. This is an 8 p.m. kickoff this evening. This game might not actually be as straightforward as one might think. I think that Coventry, I think it is a matter of when rather than if they go up and potentially win the league. I do think Coventry are the strong favourites for the league now. But Derby have been slightly one of the bogey teams somewhat in recent seasons. And I do think that Derby are capable of showing up here and getting a draw. But it is at the CBS, and Coventry have tended to roll teams over there this season. That's why they're top of the league. And I think that Coventry will get the 3 points here. It's going to be crucial, and it's going to be tight, but I think Coventry edge it 2-1, and that is a huge 3 points closer to promotion in my predictions. So 2-1 to the Sky Blues. And there you have it, guys. All 11 Championship matches for today. Good Friday matches predicted. Quickly, let me know your predictions in the comments down below. The games start in about 4 hours with the big one, Borough Mill. And yes, I'll be making FA Cup quarter-final predictions. They should be out later today. And yes, I'll see you all in the next one.